to do is look at Laci Green's video. Apparently she's Laci Green is a diehard feminist, and apparently she's changed her mind on some stuff. So let's watch it.
Okay, making this video. Hi internet, I'm back.
Hi Laci.
Don't answer that if you're mean. I certainly
How
miss
you doing?
guys. It's been a few months since I've been on YouTube. Longest break I've ever taken, but it was very much needed, and I feel so good. I think the social media detox is very nice. So I wanted
Went
to
on detox on social media. Okay, that's good. I respect
been
that.
on break. I haven't been completely removed from the internet. If you are active in the conversation about feminism and social justice warriors, you may have noticed that I've been talking to and hanging out with some anti-feminist YouTubers. This is apparently really confusing. There have been thousands of tweets and emails and people freaking out, like, what is going on? After all, I, Laci Green, am the very pinnacle of a social justice warrior.
We're gonna get you to come over to our side eventually, girl. You're gonna grow up and you're gonna see how stupid this shit is. You are. We'll get you. We will get you. You will come over to the dark side.
My SJW-ness has been memified with statements like, everything is problematic and there are more than two genders and America is racist. But now, at pro-Trump rallies, I'm told by reliable sources, there's talk that I'm being red-pilled in the Matrix sense, not so much the pickup artist sense. The red pill is a meme that refers to this realization that the world isn't nearly as simple as you thought it was. The question, of course, is what is the truth? What is the truth? And how bad do you want to know?
Laci, it would behoove you to explain to some of these millennials what the reference is with the red pill thing, because, I mean, it's off of the Matrix. I honestly think some of these millennials don't get that reference. I mean, some of them probably don't.
No.
I get the reference. It's okay. I get the reference. It's all good.
Some sense.
It's all good in the hood.
I took the red pill a long time ago. It's why I do what I do. My YouTube stuff has always been about the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. And while yes, I am a feminist, I wouldn't describe myself as the ideologue that people sometimes make me out to be. I feel that things tend to be messier than that, and frankly, that's the way I like it. So, let's get messy.
Life is messy, Laci. Life is always going to be messy. It's always going to be messy. There's no getting around it.
So here's some context about me. I used to be Mormon, pretty intensely so. You know, when I was 12 years old, there were adults telling me that my spiritual destiny is to be perpetually pregnant. Cute, right?
What?
I'm also half Iranian. Funny enough, my grandparents were political rebels in their day, speaking truth to power during the revolution in 1979. It's actually pretty badass, and it makes me feel like rebellion runs in my blood. But as a teenager, I got a little...
Laci, girl, open up. Open up. I think that's what's happening right now, is you're opening up to other opinions. That's a good thing. It's a good thing for your life. Do it. It's a good thing. Have a debate with people you disagree with. I'll watch it. It'll be a complete shit show, but I'll watch it. Or maybe that's the game. I don't know. I can't see into your head and see how you think. But hey. Damn, that's like a bad pick, man. I paused that on a... Sorry, I paused that on... Let's continue.
A little bit lost in all of this, as you do. So my first YouTube channel that I started when I was 17 was about skepticism and philosophy. Then, when I was 19, I created a series called Sex Plus, which is dedicated to helping young people who, like me, had been told that their sexuality was bad or wrong, that they're less than because of their gender or sexual orientation, and so forth. So this is the type of stuff that forms the core of my feminism, which I would describe as intersectional, sex positive, and skeptical. Skeptical, as in not easily convinced of stuff. Science is my rubric where...
Intersectional? Oh, babe, you had me, but then you went on intersectionality, and oh my god. You can do better than this, girl. You can do better than this. Calm the fuck down. You can do better than this.
Possible because we're all prone to human error. Science isn't perfect, but it helps reduce those errors by a lot. At the end of the day, we all have true beliefs.
Hey Laci, is it possible that you have human error too? I have human error. Everyone has human error. But you'll be alright.
And we all have false beliefs. Skepticism is about acknowledging that. It's questioning even the seemingly unquestionable and being willing to adjust our beliefs as we get new information. In truth, I want to engage with criticism, but it's really hard to...
Laci, if you adjust your beliefs, I'll adjust mine. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. It's not that hard. Just have a debate and the best idea wins. I mean, it's that simple.
Do online. There's a lot of hostility, things escalate super quickly, people don't really seem to be listening to each other, it's just a shit show. So I went down...
I would agree with that. The entire internet is a shit show.
rabbit hole of anti-SJW videos. And I found that some are pretty disrespectful, but that's not all the channels. I've recently found anti-SJW channels that are well-cited and reasoned, you know, make some interesting points. Sometimes...
Is this Jeff and Mimmer's channel? It might be.
So I'm like, yeah, I agree with that, or I didn't really think of that. And sometimes I disagree, in which case, you know, I still feel it's beneficial for me to listen and consider another perspective. It helps me learn. So I decided to reach out to some. And, you know, I was pleasantly surprised. People have been pretty kind to me. And, you know, I'll be honest, I didn't really expect that.
Yep. Laci, you know what? You got, with anything, you got a great smile. You got a great smile. Keep on smiling, because that's just, you know what I'm saying.
Judgment, no vitriol. I even feel like I have a really good connection with a couple of new friends. But not everyone is so hunky-dory about it. Good friends of mine, feminists, have been a little bit skeptical of me. They expressed...
I can imagine what happened. You went over to the other side and engaged in a debate, and a bunch of feminists said, "How dare you? How fucking dare you fucking talk to the other side? Oh my God." I can understand that. I get it.
The opinion that talking to antis or problematic people is, you know, not going to be worth the time, that it won't be fruitful, that I'm engaging...
Don't let them tell you that. It will be fruitful, because you will talk to people and they will give you their opinions and you will give them yours, and it's a discussion. You'll have a discussion, a really honest discussion. Have a debate. Nothing's wrong with that.
With bigots and validating the perspectives, that I'm offering a platform to bullies, things like that. While I can appreciate this perspective, I fundamentally disagree with it. So let me go down another rabbit hole here. Social justice communities lately have been arguing that bigoted ideas, you know, this harmful speech should...
Speech cannot be harmful. It's speech. It's speech. It can't be harmful unless you're shouting fire in a crowded theater. This is a discussion we gotta have. This is the discussion we have to have. There is no such thing as harmful speech. Speech cannot harm somebody. It's words. Oh, for fuck's sake! I've been there. I've seen this. Laci, I think you're on the right path. Just keep on going on that path.
Be suppressed because it allows the bigotry to spread and to be validated. I'm thinking of campaigns to get people's Twitters banned, you know, book deals canceled, talks canceled, things like that. Ironically, this sounds very similar to the logic that is used by the right to censor sex ed. Information about sex has been deemed too harmful to hear. It'll encourage immoral behavior and speed social decay. Two sides of the same coin?
You might be right on that. You might be right on that. Two sides of the same coin. I hear you.
The question is, what counts as harm? To some, harm is a problematic opinion. Harm is hate speech. Harm is...
Well, but we still got to define hate speech. What is hate speech? What the hell is it? Nobody will tell you what it is.
inciting violence. The other pole of this issue is the perspective that there is no such thing as harmful speech, that speech can't hurt you. Therefore, all speech should be permitted, no matter what. I fall somewhere between these two perspectives. My opinion is that
all speech should be permitted unless you're, like I said, crying fire in a crowded theater. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, when I was growing up, Laci, there was this phrase we used to say. It was, sticks and stones might hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. Apparently, you millennials never got taught that. I guess. I don't know.
Speech can be emotionally harmful if it causes pain or shame or dehumanizes you. It can also be physical.
Oh, people, you could outlaw shaming someone tomorrow, and people would still do it. It would go underground. This is like the war on drugs. Oh, let's just get rid of all drugs, right? Is that gonna eliminate drugs? No, it's not. It'll go black market. I mean, you see what I'm saying? For fuck's sake.
Harmful if it incites.
But I'm glad you're coming out and having a discussion, Laci. I'm glad you are.
Or advocates violence against someone. But these two harms don't pose the same amount of threat to an individual in the context of political speech. So they shouldn't be treated as equal forms of violence. You know, if we're going to say a slur is just as violent as punching someone in the face, to me, that minimizes the egregiousness of punching.
Can we all agree that punching someone in the face is violence? Can we agree that? That's violence. Can we agree with that? Yeah, I think we can agree.
Someone in the face. So I tend to agree with the interpretation by a lot of human rights organizations, which is that harmful speech starts where it incites or advocates violence. You know, I think the definition of harm is being pushed too far in regard to political speech, that this heightened level of sensitivity is actually resulting in some censorship. Not de jure like government censorship, the technical definition of it, but de facto censorship, you know, in practice, by shutting down platforms for speech.
I think you're right. I know where you go with this. It's not government censorship, it's just social censorship. That's, I think, what you're saying, right? I would agree with you there. Totally agree with you there.
Driving it underground or by making ideas too taboo to be allowed to talk about. I also feel like this approach doesn't very well promote social justice. For one thing, when you think about it, suppression of speech is just a band-aid. It doesn't really address the systemic inequality or the mentality that lies at the root of these problems. It just sort of shuts the conversation down. It also has a clear backfire effect. It makes those...
And that's the thing we don't want to do, is to shut the conversation down. And you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. The conversation does not need to be shut the fuck down. I think you're right on that. I'll support you on that. The conversation does not need to be shut down.
Poor, censored voices more sympathetic to a moderate audience. You know, case in point, Milo Yiannopoulos. The way I see it, the internet already gives everyone a huge platform.
You realize that half of Milo's stuff is comedy, right? Milo's not a bad guy. You're gonna say he's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. Do we want to shut Milo down? What the hell? No. Convoluted topic. Totally convoluted.
You know, much bigger than a university can offer. They're already on the internet. They're gonna be there. We should talk about it. I think we should address things head on. Through open dialogue, we can parse out ideas and really see what they're made of. And in response, everyone else has free speech too. They can dissent, they can protest, they can ask critical questions, they can...
Laci, you are now in my respect pool. Come on, come to the dark side, girl. Come to the dark side. Come on, girl. You'll get it. We'll get it.
Counter the narrative. They can, highlight fallacies and moral failings of the argument. So all of this comes to a head in a brutally bizarre spectacle that happened last week amongst feminist scholars who appear to be cannibalizing themselves as usual. It all started with a feminist philosopher's publication in the philosophy journal Hypatia about transracialism. So in the paper, she examines arguments that are used for transracialism and basically finds that that logic can be applied to race as well. She highlights some of the logical inconsistencies and weaknesses in the arguments that are used against someone like Rachel Dolezal. It's a controversial topic and a controversial conclusion, and she may well have some things wrong. But instead of refuting her arguments on their logical merits, the academics penned an open letter claiming that the paper needs to be revoked, citing its various harms, including, using the wrong...
Okay, Laci, I've subbed to you. I subbed to you last night because you're actually starting to make some sense. Subbed to you last night? Maybe we can have an argument.
Word degrading trans people by comparing them to Dolezal, and having read the paper, the accusations that are made in this open letter are a complete misrepresentation of her argument to an extreme degree, which really makes this whole ordeal all the more troubling. These are not grounds to censor an academic paper. They're not grounds to ruin someone's academic reputation. I mean, what's the end goal here? Is it that, only a very specific perspective can be...
Laci, the end goal is for your crowd to control all speech if they feel offended. That's what the end goal is. And I don't want that. It appears you don't want that. No one wants this. Don't get me into Antifa here. Oh.
Heard in a philosophy journal exploring feminisms, that strikes me as very contradictory. And more generally, should publications, reject papers that don't agree with majority opinion? That makes no sense. So this is a pretty big concern of mine, and I've felt this way for a long time. It affects my work. It affects the way that I can interact with people, the things I can talk about, the people I can talk to. And this is not to say that censorship doesn't occur on the right, because it absolutely does. They just tend to censor different issues. So where does this leave us? I want to continue these conversations, which is why soon I'm going to be launching a series of live debates with feminists and anti-feminists. So in the comments, let me know if you have an idea of someone that I should invite on, or if you have ideas of topics that we should debate. And as for that red pill...
Hey, Laci, I am glad that you came out in support of debate and free speech. I'm glad. That's a good thing. You want me to give you a suggestion on who you should debate? And it would be fun. I'd love to watch it. You and Undoomed. That would be epic. Epic. I'd love to see that.
Well.
So there you have it, folks. Laci Green is having second thoughts. I guess you're having second thoughts. Hey, dude, Laci, if you're watching this, it's okay. People can, and I think your point was people can disagree and still be friends at the same time. And that is something that everybody needs to hone down. Because, man. But anyways, hey, have your own opinions, and I'm sub to you. I'll watch your shit. Have a good day, girl. Have a good day, girl.